How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG Vinco Ventures. It ended up having a pullback inside of the market for today. We could see that there were some key levels that were reached that we talked about inside the previous video. So that's why I want to make sure that you guys have a game plan, you have a strategy. And I also want to make sure when I am covering stocks on these channels, since we are trading it, I want to make sure you're prepared because they are super volatile. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at support. We're going to be taking a look at the resistance. We're going to take a look at the overall price action. This is very key because as far as going into tomorrow, you want to have a strategy. And then afterwards, we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. Are shorts still heavily vested inside of this play? What is it really looking like in regards to the borrow fees and so on? We're going to cover all of that. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution, where institutions loading up on shares today while the stock was pulling back. If that was the particular case, then of course we can have a lot to look forward to or actually see a possible spike, especially as this week progresses. And then afterwards, we're going to be going over the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it right now. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for BBIG Vinco Ventures. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $9.59, being down 7.34%. On the low, it tested $9.53, and then on the high, testing $10.57. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 50.972 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 179.994 million shares. So what we can clearly see here, there was definitely a big time decrease overall in volume, and it's part of the reasons why we ended up seeing some pressure today on the stock price. So now as we take a look at our chart, we're using the 1 year daily chart. We can see from the RSI down below, it's around 69.27. So it continues to be in the overbought territory, and it seems to be cooling down from what we could see so far. When we take a look at our moving averages on the chart, of course, we continue to have momentum above these areas. But what we could see, since we did pull back on the day, the next level we want to see hold up for BBIG will be right here around $9.12. This will definitely be a key level here going into tomorrow. If it ends up breaking through this level during regular trading hours, then the next level that you want to look out for that it could possibly end up testing could be right here around this $8 range. And also you want to see how well it could hold up at $8.17. And these particular areas do ever decide to end up breaking, then we could easily get down here to the $7 range. So I just want to make sure that is something that you are prepared for. And if you are inside of this play, that's part of the reasons why I say you want to make sure that you're attentive and you're keeping your eye on it. Now, as far as where we tested on the day, we had a high of $10.57. We ended up having some selling pressure here. There was a lot of profit taking and also not seeing the momentum like it's been seeing before. I'm pretty sure a lot of traders started exiting out of their positions. So with all of that said, continue to keep an eye on this play if you're in it, and that's why it's important that you have a strategy in regards to how much profit you are looking for before you get into it, and making sure you have a right stop loss, because like I said, this play is very volatile and I want to make sure you're keeping an eye on it. I'm going to keep emphasizing this because this is very key. But for the most part, what it looks like is just cooled off a bit, but continue to keep an eye to make sure it's not breaking through those areas of support. So we're on Fintel. We're going to take a look at the short interest information for BBIG. So as we scroll down on the page, short shares availability is at 45,000, updated 22 minutes ago, and the short borrow fee rate is at 97.25%. So it's still fairly high there. So when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 9th, it was at 52.81, and then the close for the 10th, which was last week Friday, being at 35.04. So it'll be very interesting to see what the numbers will be later on in the evening, whether it decides to actually go up or not. But one thing to do keep in mind, I wouldn't be shocked if we continue to to have short squeeze potential. So it's another reason why I would continue to have this play on your watch list, because there could be some more momentum. And as far as when we took a look at the chart, there still looks like there's areas of support which we could show some strength and rebound off of, but do keep in mind it's very dependent on overall volume. So let's see what the short interest is later on in the evening. Let me know inside of the comment section as well. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So when we take a look at the inflow, it was 120, and on the outflow it was 139. So we ended up having an outflow day. On the large for the inflow side, it was 2.70. On the medium, it was 87.01. And then on the small, it was 30.29. When we take a look at the outflow side, we could see on the large, it was 9.06. And then on the medium, it was 96.99. And then on the small, it was 32.78. So there's a lot of outflows, especially on the large side, and we're going to see what that actually looks like. So at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today it being at negative 6,362.64. So by seeing that discrepancy alone, there were a lot of institutions that sold out of their positions for today, and that's part of the reasons why we could see a pullback in the overall stock price. But one thing also to be aware of, as far as volume is concerned, we had nowhere near what we usually get when it comes to this particular play, which is why I'm not surprised why it pulled back. I will talk about that further inside of the final thoughts, so let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, we can clearly see today there was a lot of profit taking. We can see from the medium size orders and as well as the small scale orders, you're seeing a lot of it on the retail side. And also when I took a look at the turnover ratio, it was just over 73%. So that tells me already there was a lot of selling that was going on, but do keep in mind, it's not as large as how it was in the past. So what we need to take into consideration for tomorrow, we want to see those key levels that I talked about inside of the technical analysis actually hold up. So just to keep that in mind, I know many of you are also holding shares. You're not selling them, or you're not going with intraday trades. And you know what? That is completely fine, but just make sure you're following a strategy that is right for you. For myself personally, I would never hold this stock overnight. And hey, that's just me overall in general. You don't have to follow that. And I do emphasize that inside of the Discord. So for anyone who's inside of this play, and I've been saying this in all my videos, make sure that you're attentive here. If you are bag holding inside of this play, I know some of you got into this play and you're probably holding at around 11 or maybe in the high 10s and so on, then make sure you're having the right risk management and do your homework and do your due diligence. If you do believe in the long-term prospects of the company, then of course you shouldn't have no issues when it comes to holding the stock. If you were influenced, again, the Webull comment section, many people will tell you, hey, when you buy, hold, make sure that you pay the ask. Again, I feel this is terrible advice to follow, because again, they're only looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for you. So you need to make sure that you're responsible as far as how things are going in regards to your trading success. So as far as your portfolio, or whether it's your trading account that you're using, make sure that you know that you are the CEO and you can't blame anyone else in regards to whether you're down or whether you're experiencing volatility, because that is something to get used to when it comes to these particular plays. But one thing we do know for sure, BBIG, I'm pretty sure is going to continue to have that short squeeze potential. But you guys can let me know inside of the comment section what the updated numbers are going to be later on for today. But continue to keep an eye on the stock. But one thing we know for a fact, it does thrive on volume. So if the volume does decide to continue to die down, we could see the stock pull back even further. But again, if you feel very confident inside of this play, hey, that might be an opportunity for actually get into a lot lower of a price, or maybe be able to ride the next run up when we end up seeing it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.